Good afternoon, students. Welcome back. I hope you are doing well. This video recording this afternoon is just to talk to you about a couple of other things regarding our module for this week, the week of March 30th through April 3rd. And you'll notice that I am in modules and I am on the instructions link, right, which says watch me, read me first, instructions for March 30th, April 3rd. Now, the first video I posted goes through the instructions in a fair amount of detail, but I did make a revision or an addition. You'll notice that I added a note about attendance, right? So I am required to continue to take attendance, just like we were taking attendance before spring break. However, it is a little bit different with remote instruction. So I just wanted to highlight this to make sure you know about it. Attendance will be taken from your online activity. If you are generally online throughout the week and submitting tasks and assignments as they are due, then you will be counted as present. So as you know, our class originally met face-to-face on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 10 a.m. till about 11:50 a.m. Okay, and so almost 2 hours, not quite. Now, obviously, as I explained in the previous video, this is asynchronous online instruction, which means you do not have to be online every Tuesday and Thursday from 10 a.m. to 11:50 a.m. in order to do the work or to be counted as present. Okay, so you don't have to do that, and I'm not looking for an exact number of hours either. All right, what I am looking for is that you're generally online throughout the week and submitting the work when it's due. Okay, so again, there's consistency, there's structure, there are due dates. You do want to pay attention to them. Some assignments are due at the beginning or the middle of the week, and you have one a little bit larger assignment, a homework assignment due by Sunday. So there's work throughout the week. And essentially, if you're going online throughout the week and you're following the module, completing the assignments as they come up, whether you do it in the morning, the evening, the afternoon, but you're completing them and submitting them, then you'll generally be counted as present. But if at the end of the week Canvas says, student John Doe, for example, just off the top of my head, has not been online all week, hasn't submitted any assignments, well then of course you're not submitting assignments, so that's a 0, but also that student would be counted as absent. Now, what if the same student, wasn't online all week, but suddenly jumped online just a couple hours before homework was due and tried to sort of get an entire week into a couple hours? Well, that's also not really attending class remotely when you're trying to cram in, several hours at the very last minute. So that's why there's this line here that says if Canvas shows little or no activity and or missed assignments, then you will be counted as absent. As always, if you have any questions or concerns, if something comes up, just email me. I'm available throughout the week. Also, just a quick reminder that my online office hours right now are Tuesday and Thursday from 10 a.m. to noon. So generally you can expect a response within minutes, right? Like 5 or 10 minutes. But you can obviously email me anytime. I'm online throughout the week. Okay, so I just wanted to remind you of those two important pieces. Now let's take a look at a couple of, let's just look at all the tasks in our module this week. So you'll notice I'm going back to modules on the left-hand side. And this is what you can expect to see. Unit 2, Essay 2, bouncing back. Notice in the far right corner, complete all items. So yes, you do need to complete all of these items this week, but it looks like more than it really is. For example, the instructions is just, checking it off the list. You're not submitting any assignments. So you click open the instructions, you watch the video or videos, and then it's marked as done. Okay, and this is just the file of the instructions. So that's that. And then the readings we've already done, but they're here Videos, tools, and resources, nothing posted there right now, so nothing to do there. Warm-up activities, you've got a quick write, okay. Quick write number 6, making connections. Find a quote and post it. Next, connect with a classmate, hence the reason for the title, Making Connections. First, find a quote that is meaningful to you, with a picture if possible, and post it. When choosing a quote, look for one that you connect with. Maybe something that makes you smile, or you find encouraging or inspirational, just something that speaks to you right now. Then, in a couple, 1 or 2 clear and grammatically correct sentences, explain how or why this quote speaks to you, okay? So that's what you do. Find a quote, post it, got a picture, include it, then a couple clear sentences why you chose it. Next, after posting your quote, go back and read your classmates' posts. Respond to at least one classmate, telling them why or how you connect with their quote. So this is how we're going to make some connections right off the bat, because we are still a class, and I want everybody to just kind of make connections here at the beginning of the week. Okay, so this is intended to be a simple and fun and, kind of encouraging assignment, all right? But it does mean that after you post, you need to go back maybe later in the day or the next morning before it closes and respond to a classmate. All right, so that's your first warm-up activity. Let's look at your second warm-up activity. And notice that I'm just going back into modules and then clicking on the links for the tasks. News Bite reflection number 1. Now, we did talk a little bit about our first News Bite reflection before spring break, but it's been a couple of weeks. This is, if you will recall, a reflection over the first 4 News Bites that you posted several weeks ago. So remember those warm-up activities when you came to class, and you would go online and you would post, you would find an article or a headline, and you'd choose one and you'd post it and you'd write a few sentences about how you connected with it. So in this reflection, you're going to write a paragraph about those first 4 posts, essentially looking back on them. In your first 4 News Bites, you chose 4 articles to read based on your own interests. Write a paragraph about these 4 articles, and your 4 choices are your 4 choices diverse, or are they all on a similar topic? What is a common connection? So you're looking at a relationship between your first 4 posts. What's a common thread there? Or maybe they're all on diverse topics and they're just very different, okay, and very unique. Do you see anything interesting or new when you compare them side by side? So now when you're looking back and you're reflecting on your first 4 posts, do you see them differently? Do you see something that maybe you didn't originally notice? Looking at them now, which one is the most interesting to you today and why? Create a topic sentence about these 4 articles and discuss these points in 4 to 5 sentences. So you're going to create a paragraph response, roughly 4 to 5 clear, grammatically correct sentences. You need to have the normal paragraph structure, clear topic sentence with focus that gives the gist, the general idea of what you're going to talk about in your paragraph, and then supporting sentences that explain, in detail what is the relationship or connection you see between these posts, or maybe how are they all different. So a quick note, you will need to go back to your first 4 News Bites, which are already graded. You can find them in grades. Click on the link and review them in order to complete this reflection. Okay, that's worth 5 points. And again, this will take a little bit more time than the first warm-up activity, so do give yourself some time to do that and think about it. So let's take a look at our lab. Review and brainstorming. So we have started brainstorming on Essay 1, but I want us to do a quick review here and just sort of wrap up brainstorming. While we have discussed and even done some brainstorming in class, I want to review, as it has been a couple weeks since we last met and discussed writing. So let's start with a review of a video on how to brainstorm created by the Texas A&M Writing Center for Students. First, watch the entire video, and yes, please watch it again. It's really not that long, just a few minutes, but it is a review. That's why we're watching it again. And then, after watching it, compose a free write of your own for Essay 1, a cluster, and a journal about your bounce back story. So this short video talks about 3 kinds of free writing activities, or I'm sorry, brainstorming activities. A free write, a cluster or a web, and a journal entry where you're asking yourself questions. So I want you to watch the video and then do some brainstorming, either a free write, a cluster, or a journal. The link to the video tutorial and step-by-step instructions are below. Watch the video first, then do your own brainstorming and pre-writing. Compose one question that you have from the process. Post in the text box below. So you're going to post one of your brainstorming activities, and it doesn't matter to me if you do a free write, a cluster, or a journal. You can do all 3 or 1 of 3 or 2, whatever works best for you, but you're going to post one of these 3 activities in the text box, okay, which is on the discussion board. Make sure you copy and paste your brainstorming into the text box, and always when you're working on an essay, start in a new Word doc or Google Doc, and then copy and paste onto the discussion board. Secondly, post a question you came up with while brainstorming. It could be anything related to Essay 2. For example, does this free write make sense? Right, so maybe you're asking me a question, or Professor Downey, who is normally with us during our lab. Do I have enough ideas and details in this cluster? Or I'm not sure if this is a good idea for my bounce back story. So after you posted your brainstorming, think about the process you've been through, take a look at your brainstorming, and then skip a line and write a question or 2 for Professor Downey and myself to answer. We want to give you feedback on your ideas. Like I said, Professor Downey and I will be reviewing and jumping in to answer questions and provide feedback on your pre-writing. So ultimately, the more information you provide, that is, the more ideas and details you generate in brainstorming, the better feedback we can give you. So that is your lab for this week. And again, you'll notice it is due before midnight on March 31st. But I believe the link is open through the next day. It's worth 10 points, so a little bit more than the warm-up activities. You need to allow yourself more time to do the lab. Now notice you have 2 assignments this week. One is due on Friday, journal number 3, and then the outline draft for Essay 2. So very quickly, this is your 3rd journal. I'm not going to say a lot about it except to show you where it is. Find a celebrity or notable person's bounce back story online, which they discuss. And this should be a personal story or narrative, not just a motivational video about bouncing back. So find a notable person's personal bounce back story, watch it, think about what you watched, and then respond. Write a paragraph responding to and sharing your opinion about this person's story. Your paragraph should include topic, sentence, supporting sentence, examples, concluding sentence. Copy and paste the video link of your celebrity story at the top of your response. Skip a line, begin your paragraph. Okay, and then last but not least, we have about 1 minute. I want to discuss the final assignment due, which is our objective, the outline. Right, here are your directions. Here's an example of a Roman numeral, a standard outline. Roman numeral 1, introduction. Letter A, working thesis. Here's an example of a working thesis statement. Roman numeral 2, your first body paragraph. Then below that A, topic sentence. These are all working sentences. Nothing is set in stone. This is a rough idea of what you think your thesis will be and what you think your topic sentences will be. And then in numbers below, a couple of details. Here are the step-by-step directions. First, next, and finally, right? First, watch the video tutorial enclosed right here. Next, compose your outline for your essay on your bounce back story.